Remember when Donald Trump said, "I have concepts of a plan"? Well, we now know what those concepts were. 50-year mortgages. That's his plan to solve the affordability crisis in this country, but let's call it what it is: a lifetime subscription to own your own house. If you're 30 today, they're telling you to celebrate the chance to be free and clear of a mortgage when you are pushing 80 years old. That's not affordability, that's surrender. And they're pitching this as some kind of breakthrough: stretch the loan, shrink the payment, unlock the dream, but a stretch loan is just a longer leash. The monthly drop also isn't magic, it's math. On a typical purchase, you might shave off a couple $100 off the monthly payment, but in exchange, you're going to hand the bank hundreds of thousands of dollars more in interest over time. The equity you build is extremely slow. The wealth building would be molasses, and for years, you're renting from your lender with extra steps. And here's the fork in the road that voters rejected. Kamala Harris actually had a plan to solve this at the front door and at the building site. Okay, down payment assistance help up to $25,000 in building millions of new homes in this country to help ease the shortage, and raising the corporate tax rate toward 28% to help pay for it all. And voters said no. They passed on the build more and fund the entry route, and we're left with a gimmick that stretches debt to 600 months and calls it relief. If this was actually about helping first-time homebuyers, we would be fixing the actual choke points, okay? Skyrocketing construction costs, zoning that strangles supply, corporate landlords buying whole neighborhoods before families ever get a shot, junk fees stacked at every turn. We would be cutting appraisal games, title blow, and insurance creep. We would be funding real down payment assistance that doesn't come with a balloon trap. Instead, we get a gimmick that treats symptoms while the disease spreads. Ask yourself, who wins? Lenders and servicers love 600 months of cash flow. Scrutinizers love longer streams to slice and sell. Politicians love a press conference, but you inherit the risk. You live with the fragility. One job loss, one health crisis, one spike in taxes or insurance, and suddenly that tiny savings that you've been building up vanishes while the payoff date stays parked somewhere near your retirement party. We have seen where innovations like this go. Every time we try to redefine affordable as take on more debt, regular people get squeezed. Homes become ATMs, neighborhoods become assets, and the American promise becomes a spreadsheet. Okay? There's a simpler path. Build more homes. Curb bulk buying by giant investors that crowd out families. Cap or kill the junk fees that pad closings. Expand fair, transparent down payment support and keep mortgages safe and sane, stable terms, real underwriting, no traps dressed up as opportunity. If you're 30 and you want a future, you shouldn't have to choose between owning a home and ever being done paying for it. A house is supposed to be a foundation, not a forever bill. 50-year mortgages don't fix the problem. They freeze it in place and hand you the ice.